Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the second of our weekend races. Tonight we have race 2 of the Herd Winter Racing Series, and this is a single lap of the Legends and Lava route. This will go very, very, very quickly into the Titans Grove reverse KOM, after which we will head back down over some rollers, head towards the switchbacks, then the S's, and then we'll go round the backside of the volcano and then finish at the very top of the volcano KOM. Unfortunately, Craig is out of the country at the moment, so he's left all of the video recording to me, which is an absolutely terrible idea, as you'll probably see very, very shortly. I'm joined by Brent, and Craig has dialed in from Israel in Tel Aviv to help us out, and we'll see how things go. I'm watching IAN Elston, who's back again after last week, and he's doing well. He's very, very nicely in the front group, so all being well, he will stay there for as long as possible. Brent, who are you watching?
I'm following Dean Peddle, who is from the Mustangs herd team. He is so far stuck in that front group as well, right at the back of it, but he's in it, so that's good for him. So far, so good.
And how about you, Craig?
So I'm not sure exactly what has happened here. I may have lost the entire race.
Okay, so Craig is trying to follow on his mobile in Tel Aviv. So we may have some footage from Craig. We may not, but hopefully we will we'll see some action. Not Craig's fault at all. He's obviously in an internet slightly dead area, but we are trialing something new tonight. We're using a piece of software called NDO.Ninja, which allows us to basically share our screens into one stream. So it may work, it may not, but hopefully you guys will get to see some pictures. But we are well into rollers for IAN Elston Herd, and he's doing well to hang on to the front group. So great job so far, Ian. Brent.
Yeah, Dean is still just at the back of the front group. It looks like he's having to put out some pretty good numbers. I think this group may have just, I don't know, it feels like they're pushing it a little bit, although maybe here on this roller it's kind of eased back a bit. But he's doing well, seems to be metering his effort out, and he's stuck in there in the front group still. So, you know, if he hangs in there through the top, that's a good start.
Brent, do me a favour and just click on Dean's name on the right-hand side.
There we go, like that. And now it says D pedal.
Yay!
Okay, sorry, was it showing me?
Yep.
Oh, well, no. Because on my screen it was showing Dean, but yeah, I did say my name. Sorry.
It shows like watching B. Robinson, which is one of the really. So for anyone who hasn't tried following someone at the start of a race, if you follow someone at the start of a race and the race just starts, it then says it's watching you, but even though you're not actually watching yourself. But it is now showing that Brent is watching Dean, so we are in a good place, apart from Craig, who is blank, and we're not sure if he's with us on the audio either. But Craig is still there.
Am here. Yeah, I am here. If that has shut down, I will attempt to restart my my Ninja here. Yeah, we've got. So I was attempting to follow Matt Walton, one of my former teammates from the herd of powerful ponies in ZRL, who are this season, I believe, rebranded to Griffins.
So back to the front group. IAN Elson is doing a nice job still. He's hanging in the back of this front group, which looks to be, I think, probably 25, maybe 30 strong. I can see the L Jones that isn't Lisa in there. Andy Kroll's there. Everyone doing a
Max Szymanski's in that group.
Matt Walton's in there as well. but the fun and games are yet to come in a relatively short distance. I think it's probably about 2 kilometres. We're going to have a fairly sharp 700-metre climb.
Yeah, the top's right around 5K.
Yeah. So the anyone who is wandering for a race round the corner, so basically there are 2 points on the course where you touch the mountain bike route. With this one, we will come around a couple of corners and then hit the intersection for the mountain bike route and very shortly start the KOM after that. And as Brent says, it's around about 5K. So not far away at all, and it will be fast. Expect to see people holding 400, 500 watts at the front of the front group to try and split other people off the back, but we'll see how that one pans out. But it's a pretty short climb, so give everything for a relatively short period of time. Front will probably be, I'm guessing, around 1 minute 30. We'll just hit the start of the climb. So IAN Elston is holding 300 watts. He's probably going to need to do a little bit more than that to hang on. So we'll see how this one pans out.
Yeah, Dean's around 350, so he's at 5, which, might do it. Chris said it didn't go too crazy at the top, so sorry, Chris Greenland on the Pinktron podcast, everybody listen, said that in the race one didn't go too crazy, and Dean is stuck in here as they go. Anyone who's done Zwift Academy should probably be familiar with this climb, because this was the intermediate length climb for your baseline and finish line rides, so it is a test to stick in here. Dean's just the back of the front group now.
Yeah, this one's stretching out quite a lot. And we've heard from Timothy Rush, actually, on the YouTube channel, who would like to also say that he loves England, Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland and all parts of the United Kingdom. His money is on Patrick for the Titans KOM. So we will certainly see how that one goes. But Ian has sadly dropped off the back of the people who are really pushing it very, very hard up the hill, and he's still holding 4 watts a kilo, but sadly it's not enough to hang on to the guys who are doing 6s.
Yeah, Dean's up over 6 here and he's hanging in. He's in 15th, right in the group on the climb. He's nailing it for sure. Way to go, Dean.
IAN
nice.
is
through the climb right here. Wow, 137. That's fast. Holy cow.
And the UK loving Tim Rush may have been wrong. I think Patrick Schaefer was down in around about 7th place, so bad tips from YouTube. But back to IAN, he is with Bruce Bortoff, and we've got a Wang from ATP who have joined together, and this is looking like it's probably going to be a group for a while. There's a couple, 3 riders in front of them who've been separated from the front group. We've got a 4th, Jay Cooper, who's just joined this group, and we will see if these guys manage to grab onto the solo riders in front.
Yeah, Dean held the front group, and for a second it looked like he might get dropped in the downhill. He sprinted through and then went all the way to the front, so we got a little time on the front of the group on a super tuck, which is always fun in a race when you're on the front of the group. And now he's kind of just hanging in there, a little super tuck on the descent. Looks like it's all chilling out while they go down the hill here. So good job, Dean. Way to go. This is a good group. There's strong riders up here, so that's a heck of a climb to stay in it.
So James, if you want to try, I sent you a new. It's back to my first link. Sorry, it's not a new link. It's back to my first one. If you want to try that, and yeah, it's starting to look better, but I don't know how it's going to go.
Craig, can you just resend me your Herd Craig link? You can only send me a photo of it, can't you?
I can.
Ladies
So I did type that one. I did type that one out in the chat. If you scroll up, you can tap it.
Yeah, about 10 years. Ladies and gentlemen, this is technology at its very, very best. Oh,
This is like the full sausage broadcast.
So I've gone back a little bit, so as we don't have, we're not following 3 racers all in the same group. So right now I'm looking at Carrie Lash, who is currently in and around 40th place, and so he's in a kind of a medium-sized group, and they're coming up. They're going to. They're about to catch Alan Shovel, so there'll be the 2 herd riders in that group of I think about 8.
Dean's gone back to the front of the group here. I mean, going to the front on the downhill is not too bad because you're just cruising through, not eating wind. But I think he's pretty excited to be in this front group and to get to ride on the front. He should probably work on conserving some energy for the volcano here in the pack, but. It's always fun to get your TV time on the front of the group for sure. Definitely slowed down though now. They're only doing low 2s, high 1s to go cruising through here as it gets into some rollers on the way out of the Titans Grove KOM. Little bump here. Let's see if he holds on. They're putting a little surge in, so we better go. They put 14 seconds into the group behind, so that's good. Good for Dean anyway, to make sure they don't catch him on the next group.
yeah, so we're seeing IAN's group with Reese Botoff and Wang up ATP. Also got L Jones, who is not called Lisa, up ATP in this group as well.
James, for future reference, that is Lloyd Jones.
Yeah, I know, but I like the way I say it. I think L. Jones, not called Lisa, is a much better way of saying it, unless you want us to go back to Animal Names, which was, quite frankly, the best episode of live commentary ever. However, Lloyd Jones is in this group as well. They will be coming towards the end of the rollers before too long. Although Bruce has decided he's getting a bit bored, so he's kicked on a little bit, but they're all coming back together yet again. And Craig, your link didn't work, by the way. But never mind. This is what happens when you get me to do live video.
Well, I'm not sure this is entirely your fault, James. It's
on the plus
we're trying something new.
We have 2 screens working, and there is a map, and everyone loves maps. Maps are great.
Can't complain.
IAN Elston is doing a lovely job in this group of 6, currently in 26th wheel. The front group is probably about 1.2 million miles in the front, but they are just about to come out of Titans Grove, and all being well, should have a lovely bit of recovery before the volcano, but we will see.
Yeah, definitely Dean's group now. They're just coming out. So they're kind of out of the Titans Grove. When you look at the profile screen on the right, it's now just showing kind of the interim between Titans Grove when they come down the bridge out to the flat bit. So they're definitely in the full recovery group at this point. Although they're still putting time in the group behind, and they moved up to 18 seconds. So they're still moving fast enough to keep the group way behind them, so that's good. But that's not too surprising when you have the 20 fastest racers up tight to grow a ball in a group that they're still putting up a time in the group behind them, I think. So I don't think they're too worried. I think they're just saving up bullets now to get ready for the volcano at this point. They're not worried about getting caught or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, based on the race earlier, like after the initial group took off over the Titans Grove reverse KOM, they settled down fairly quickly. That was a group of about 23, 25, and they took it fairly easy between the 2 KOMs. This group are just catching a French guy called Errant. And so that will turn this group of 6 into a group of 7. And the nearest rider up a road is 17 seconds away. So I think there's a few of them. So they may or may not catch. I would suspect not. But these guys seem fairly happy, and IAN Elson is doing a lovely job. Craig, why don't you tell us about the race that you're watching but we cannot see?
I'm actually working on getting you to see it, but let me go back to watching it myself instead.
To be fair, we've only got 14 kilometers left, so I don't know if you have enough time. Oh, good! You sent me another picture.
Never mind. Zwift crashed, so I'm presumably no longer in the race. So
fair enough.
Yeah, that was good.
It was very interesting. Anyway, that I was somehow going to convert a picture of a link into me typing the link out by switching screens several times, but it's all part of fun and games of see what happens when Craig goes on not holiday but a work trip abroad.
This is entirely my fault.
Yes, never ever leave Canada again.
Except to come to the UK to hang out and ride the Transpennine or something.
Well, at least if he came to the UK, I'd ask him to bring a laptop so that he could do the stream.
So the as predicted, the front group with Dean has pretty much come to a resting cruise at this point. He's doing 2.3s in the mid 100s, which for me is active recovery speed. Just looking at some of the names, do we think Wally V. Pannacookin from Canada on OTR? I think that's a real name. Do we think that's a real? Think there's really a Wally Pannacook?
I don't trust anything I read from OTR personally.
There's also a Booze. Somebody Booze.
I definitely don't want to speculate.
Sorry, Wally Pannacook, if that is your real name. My bad. Oh, Alexander Boost. That's right, everyone. He's German. So there you go.
To be fair, we've got someone from the OTR team watching our stream at the moment, so hopefully he'll be able to confirm whether or not OTR riders have just fabricated names entirely. Timothy, please enlighten us. Apparently it's real.
There you go. My bad. Sorry.
Good to know.
Wally. Best luck to you in the race. He's in the front group, so
Go on, Wally. Good luck.
Yeah, he's got a 1,000+ watt 15-second PB, so
as does half of OTR.
Well, Andy Kroll from ATP is in there too, so they'll have to watch him on the climb. I would suspect he would be dangerous here in the finish.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
Matt Walton.
I can't recall whether or not Andy Andy is actually an A or a B at the moment. I know he's definitely an A. End of last winter series. I'm not sure. Wasn't certain if he still is. But yeah, Andy's a really solid racer.
I didn't notice that he had gone to A.
I think he dipped over fairly similar time to me. Only he was better at riding bikes than I was because I cried on every single A race I did.
He's currently listed as a 3.91B.
Okay. I'm a 3.92B, and Andy will piss over me every single race he ever does. Excuse my French.
I'm good at that.
You're Canadian.
We've got Matt Walton from Herd here. He's got real numbers too.
Matt's really strong. Matt is very strong. So
he's got a good crack here.
Yeah.
So this group with IAN Elston, they seem to like kicking each other because they are spreading out. And I don't think it's just Pack Dynamics 3.0. They are kicking each other, and Ian's having to hold high twos, low threes to hang in there. So whether the two in front who are trying to get away may not be the best climbers, or they might just think, let's have a little bit of fun. And there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Are they maybe trying to catch the two up the road? I don't know if they can see that, but there's a pack of two between the lead group and Ian's group, so they might be trying to catch.
They're a long way away.
Well, they are. That's true. But my group, ZRL on Tuesday, James, we made up over a minute in 2 laps on 2 guys that dropped off the front. So, 30 seconds, it can be done. If you work. Oh, what happened?
So Ian Elston is just starting the switchbacks, after which we will head towards the S's. Brent, we're at 14.5 kilometers. How far in front is Matt?
Dean Matt, that group is up to 15.2, so 700, 800 meters in front, I guess. They're just about to finish that section of the road when you do the switchbacks, and then you make the left-hand turn off, and then you do the big steep climb. I think that's the way to get to the volcano here, right? Or it's a little tiny. It's like a 5%er there that you'd have to do before you get the downhill back towards town. So they're just about to start that little dip right now.
So, but they'll go round the switchbacks and then head towards the S's, do the S's, and we'll go around the backside of the volcano before they start the actual climb. Sorry, Dean, I was confused because Craig said he wanted to watch Matt. I apologise.
Matt's in this group, so we'll see him probably finish. I guess we'll see how Dean makes out on the volcano climb, but he's riding super well. Then both him and Matt. So, no chance, no attempt at an attack on that little lump at all, which isn't that surprising. I've never seen a successful breakaway form up on that lump as many times as I've tried it. Never happens because
I've seen it happen, but it takes an awful lot of work, and it's not worth it on this course where you're then going up the volcano. I saw it on Seaside Sprint work.
Because you're going straight down to the finish from there?
Well, so you're going the biggest thing you're going through is the S's. So it's that of the S's to attack.
Well, actually, on the first race earlier today, we saw certain members of a front group going what can only be described as batshit crazy for the first of the climbs, and that they were all doing about 8 watts a kilo up the top. But then realised actually it's a really short climb and everyone's going to come back to us again. So perhaps was an attempt to maybe drop 1 or 2 off the very, very back of the pack. And I think they dropped 1 rider. So I don't think it's particularly effective. But we may see similar things happening again.
I think it's only really an effective technique if you are if you do it coordinated with a number of people.
Yeah.
Trying a solo there is just ridiculous.
Like in the first race, there was about half a dozen that really kicked hard, but I think most of the pack followed, and there's only one person that dropped off.
Someone has chosen. I guess. Do we go through the lap banner here? Do they get another power up before the volcano?
Oh, actually, yes. They will go through the sprint banner.
Well, they're past sprint now on my. They're at the
No,
climb into the S's, right? Out of the sprint into the S's.
They'll turn left out of the S's onto the volcano loop. So
right.
They won't go. They don't go through the volcano banner. So
someone has burned their power up here on that little climb after the sprint, which is bold.
Well, I mean that may have been an accident too.
I mean, it was on a hill. I'll give him that. Like, it was a good feather time per se, but considering you got to go through the volcano climb and that steep bit at the end, I can't think of any better moment to use it than that. Maybe to hang on somewhere else on the volcano, but
Yep.
that's the steepest climb. It's the most important part of the race at this point, so that's where I would have been pushing my feather.
Yeah, absolutely. IAN Elston is on the sharpest part of the S's, and his group of 7 are pretty much all astern. So they're hanging on together and doing a lovely job of grouping up. And they are just coming over the top of the first of the S's and first and the hardest, and I suspect these guys will stay together until the volcano, at which point they might start kicking each other. We've been told by everyone's favourite UK lover, Timothy Rush, that we have to watch out for Patrick and Robin versus Chris and Matt on the volcano. Some surnames would help, but we will look out for those names. And by the way, our favourite racer in the entire world is Scorekeeper, who is winning the Herd Winter Racing League currently, and can't see anyone beating him over any of the races currently. Can you, Craig?
I'm not going to chime in on this one. I think the front of the races are always up for grabs.
We must be getting close to the bottom of volcano. So we must go straight into the volcano. We don't do a lap here.
It's kind of a half lap, I think, isn't it?
You go halfway around the volcano. And just on my previous point, I would love to see another race with Timothy Rush and Scorekeeper in the same race, because I think it'd be an absolutely fantastic thing to view. Tim?
What are we thinking volcano climb times today? We're looking at what, low 7s for the fastest guys? Mid 7s?
Oh, God, low 6s.
No.
Oh,
yeah, low 5s, or high 5s to low 6s, yeah.
Okay.
Tim, because I know you're listening, please come and join race 1, because that's when Scorekeeper always races. We really, really, really want to see you race him.
To be fair, I think Tim might be working then most days.
That is fair.
Maybe you can do it on a week when I'm not racing race 1. That'll be okay too.
Yeah.
So our guys are inside the volcano now, the front group with Dean. Who, like, how long ago has he been a B? He's racing amazingly strong. Like, he is right in here. His heart rate is, moderating down. He's just running a really good race here. So, I mean, I don't know how long he's been a B, but he is right here with the lead group.
So it's been a while. It's been a while now. He's at least mid B. So yeah, I think he, like me, but a little bit more so, has a tendency to get dropped on prolonged climbs. So.
So Tim's just said that he thinks that the volcano times are going to be around 6:15, and I think I probably agree with that. But that's seriously fast. Back to IAN Elston. He is holding happily in 23rd in his group of 7, and they are going around the outskirts of the volcano. And Tim says he's going to quit his job so he can race against Scorekeeper on Friday lunchtime. Thanks very much, Tim. That's the sort of dedication we expect from our Zwift racers.
It's worked for me, Tim.
And
until like 2 weeks ago.
He's also clarified. So it's Patrick Schaefer, are Swinton out of OTR against M. Goulden and Chris out of ATP. So, Brent, you might see some of that activity. I will not in this group.
Yeah, they're on KOM. They're on the KOM right now, so they just have done like that first little down and up that starts the KOM climb, and they're doing the little first extended bit of 5%. Dean's hanging in there. Not too crazy off the front. Starting to go though. Oh, and yeah, now the attack is on, and Dean is struggling just a little bit.
I've always found like with the A riders, they're more than happy to coast around the bees until you see any sort of like semblance of a hill,
Yeah.
and then they show why they're A's rather than B's. Back to IAN Elson, they are just about to hit the hill, so 2.5 kilometres to go. Well, it's a little bit more than that. But we have just the hill to come, and this will separate the men from the boys.
Yeah, Dean has dropped off the front group. I think it appears to me in any event that he has made the tactical decision to not murder himself chasing that front group at the start of this climb, and he is going to try and meter his effort out a little more over he'll probably now be I would think a 7-minute climb guy at least. So he's aiming to finish in this spot. He's in 17th, which like I'm usually happy to finish in the top 20 in these races, so I'm sure he's looked at that spot and he said, I just want to make sure I finish in front of this group of 3 guys behind me, so I'm going to meter out my effort to make sure that when it gets steeper at the top of the thing, I've got gas to push it. So
what's the gap to the guys behind?
20. They were 24 at the start. Now they're up to 20. So the Lamy is really pedaling hard like crazy. So hopefully he's got an eye. I don't know, Dean, if you're not listening, you should be watching this Lamy behind you and keep an eye on that time, because you are going to need to push it. If he can hold this up to the top, he'll definitely close it down, because he's already closed it to 16. So he's put like 9 seconds into the first half of the climb.
It could well be that Dean's pacing the climb so that he knows he's got something to give at the end.
Yep, I think that is his strategy, which hopefully will work. But it's I don't know. I wouldn't be the first guy who ever paced it to give something to give at the end, and then got past 300 meters, 500 meters from the end, and no matter how much I sprinted, I was already dusted off the back.
The last 300 meters are around about 10%, which is essentially a bit of a sprint.
Yeah, it's an uphill sprint once you pass that last rock.
Yeah, the big rock on the right-hand side. And then after you go past that, it's pretty much a 10% drag to the line.
And the good news for Dean here is that Lamy has dropped his group, so he's solo. So it's mano a mano with a 7-second advantage at this point to try and catch him. But yeah, if Lamy can do this, then he's probably got him.
So
how's Ian making out?
Yeah, IAN is doing okay. He's looking like he's just being dropped by his group, sadly. And yep, they've all gone a bit crazy and dropped him. And Ian's dropped back down to about 3 watts a kilo. I think it might have just been a little bit too hard for him. But he is shortly about to enter into the volcano, which will essentially signify he's halfway up the hill. But he's got a 50-second lead on John Moore out of ATP, so I think he's fairly comfortable for now, although John is holding more than 4 watts a kilo. So Ian's got probably 4 minutes left on the climb.
So in insult to injury news, I don't know what this joker was doing, but Lamy just passed Dean riding a mountain bike. So I don't know what that's about. He didn't worry about winning the race and he's that much stronger, or what? Maybe he doesn't even have a profile actually. No, he is. He's on the live feed. So anyway, yeah, I guess he was just, I don't know what he thought he was doing on the mountain bike. Maybe he thought it was a different route. Maybe he's just having some fun. But he has now totally dusted Dean. on his mountain bike, and Dean is into the not the last steep bit. So now he's watching the next two guys, 3-4 seconds back. He should start ramping it up here because he's in the 5% section. He's got 3-second lead. He should be able to hold this here if he can just. He's still got one more climby bit though, I think, if I remember. But he is going to want to hit those 300 watts if he can. Yeah, this is always the part that gets me as it goes down, then it climbs back up, and then it gets steep. So now's the time to go, Dean. You got to give her.
So IAN Elston is on his own. Lloyd Jones is 10 seconds in front. John Moore is now down to 28 seconds, 27 seconds behind. So, Ian, if you're listening, push it. Still holding low threes, 3.3, 3.4, which is a very respectable power to be holding up this hill. But he's got a bit of a motor coming up behind. So hang on as much as you can do.
Nice. So, T-Mac, I can't find his name. Tim McKinney had passed and caught Dean, and Dean did respond and did hold his wheel. So now we've got a full-on shootout between Dean and Tim McKinney here as they go into the final stretch of this climb. So this is going to be a real good battle, and there is one more behind. It looks like D. Smith has dropped off. Oh, don't let him go. Don't let him go. He's trying to stay with him on his wheel here. You can tell that when the road slopes down, he lets off the pedals a little bit. So here we go. Come on, Dean. Go, go, go. He's got to stay on his wheel. He's got to stay on his wheel. You can't let him get too far away because even when it levels out just that little bit at the top, if you can stay on it, you can go past him. Oh, he's catching him. Yeah, nice work, Dean. That's good, 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 good. Not quite at the steepest bit yet. Once you get past this rock yet. Keep going, keep going. Nice, nice. He's past him. He's back in front. Stay on the gas. Well done. Good, good, good. Oh, and a response from McKinney. What a response. Here comes the rock. Here comes the steep bit. Gotta go, Dean. Gotta go, go, go. Here he comes, the steepest bit of the climb, 10%. He's passing him. Way to go, Dean. He's got it. 435. Stay on it, stay on it, stay on it, stay on it. Just cresting the hill now. Oh, he's got 8-9 meters. He's putting distance into McKinney. Dean hammers it in. Keep going across the line. Pedal, 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 pedal. And Dean takes it for 18th. Nice finish. Well done. Good response, Dean.
Super effort, Dean. And it's worth mentioning our mountain bike friend. There is a glitch that if you enter the pen using a bike and then change your bike, it doesn't necessarily show. So it's probably relatively safe to assume that he was not actually on a mountain bike. Otherwise, he'd be rather foolish. But IAN is doing quite nicely. He's holding the gap to about 20 seconds to John Moore and co. Lloyd Jones is 12 seconds in front. Not far to go at all. It's got I would say a couple of corners, but it's basically one long corner. But we're just seeing the big rock, which signifies where the road starts to ramp up a little bit. He's still got a lead of 19 seconds. Should be good. And we'll shortly ramp up to around about 10%. And here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And using feather beautifully, kicking towards the line. Gap is it's only 7 seconds, but should be enough. And 6 seconds and pushing towards the line, and IAN is going to finish in 27th place. Superb job. Well done. And with that, and given that we have a blank corner in the top right, I think our coverage is probably done. So a big thanks to Brent and Craig for joining me, and to everyone who's been watching and chatting away on YouTube. Hope you'll join us again next week, and a big thank you to all. Good night, everyone.